you just feel horrible. You gain 15 pounds in like a couple of weeks and you're just bloated and you just don't feel good. And then so it really plays a trick on your mental.
And you're very aesthetic, and it's all healthy, it's all natural, and you don't have these crazy shifts anymore, between off seasons and in season, and massive 50-pound swings. What was that journey like? Because that's something that oftentimes goes unspoken in the bodybuilding realms, but most competitors have some form of disordered eating. They'll have these really sloppy building phases. I did that my first couple of years. I think we're all guilty of it at some point. But like, how did you break free of that negative downward spiral?
Oh gosh, it took a long time because you just want to eat everything. I would make
Mm-hmm.
lists. I would scour through cookbooks and all these bad foods and things that I wanted to eat. But every time I did that, I felt horrible. You just feel horrible. You gain 15 pounds in like a couple of weeks and you're just bloated and you just don't feel good. And then so it really plays a trick on your mental stability, right? So I would go into depression after every show because I wouldn't look like I did on stage the weekend before. And I still get a little, mental when I look in the mirror and go, oh, goodness gracious. But I just said, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. And I just watched my eating. So I did the reverse diet without calling it a reverse diet. And I just minimized all the extra junk food things. And so I kind of
Mm-hmm.
stabilized. And then after that, it was easy. But it took a few years for me to get to that point. And so now after the shows, we have the judges' feedback. And I tell everybody, be careful of the reverse dieting, be careful of the depression that you may go through, because nobody tells them that. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, go ahead and eat whatever you want and just, gain some weight, gain some muscle. I said, well, don't dirty bulk, which everybody does. Like, oh, I'm going to put on 20 pounds. Like, well, that's just fat. So
Yeah.
stop doing that. Put on some good muscle, eat good. And then when you prepare for your next show, it's not so hard. You won't have to lose 40 pounds. You might have to lose 20, and the dieting or the prep, whatever they call it, is easy. And then when it becomes the lifestyle, then you don't have to worry at all.
Totally, totally. And I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of federations and promoters don't really help in that regard because they'll have like treats and stuff backstage for them to eat after they step off, the final call. And it's like, well, we're just kind of like feeding into that negative feedback
Hmm.
loop. And I mean, I did that for like several years. My first show, I lost 80 pounds in 12 weeks, and then I went out to eat and I gained it all back. Not all of it, but I gained 24 pounds in 24 hours with a celebratory
Oh.
meal afterwards. And I felt terrible, super sick. And then I was like
Hmm.
binging and purging for years. And it's like, that's no way to live. And there's got to be a better way. But that never really gets talked about openly. So it's
Mm-mm.
important.
It's important. I think they're getting better about it because other people, they're doing it, people are doing it now. So they're doing that reverse diet. They're really being more mindful about how your body adjusts to it because it's not healthy for one. And then you go into that cyclical, physical, emotional kind of spiral down that drain. And so I think more people are talking about it now than before, but still
Hmm.
not nearly enough. So what I'm thinking now, I got to thinking about that this morning. After my show, I'm going to offer just like a counseling kind of just like a feedback session for the things that you may go through after a show. So I
Yeah,
think that would be a
that's
good
good.
service for other people to do so. If it works out, then I'll like cue you in on it so you can
Yeah,
do it at your
definitely.
show too, right? But
I'm going to be taking notes for sure.
yeah, it's all about the education. Like people are cutting, they're not drinking water, they're not doing this because that's what they've heard, or that's what Siri says, or that's what YouTube says. I'm like, no, you just need to eat. You need to feed
Hmm.
the body. You need to fuel the body. So a lot of misconceptions out there still, and it's just with education and finding a good trainer and nutritionist. So I know you do
Totally.
both, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, education around nutrition is my wheelhouse from a ketogenic standpoint. Like I did the standard American, flexible dieting approach for my first several shows, and I went keto to kind of beat these disordered eating tendencies that I was struggling with. And I've just
Mhm.
been keto ever since for competitions as well. And you follow more of a mixed diet, like you're having, all macronutrients, but you're doing very healthy. You're taking a very healthy approach to it. Like you're eating whole foods, you're eating real nutrient dense stuff. You're not eating a bunch of
Yeah.
junk food, and you're doing it the right way.
Not during prep season. In the off season is a different story.
But you
Okay.
probably don't let
Shh.
yourself go too far off center, because I mean you still have. I mean you're not like 50 pounds overweight right now.
Oh, no, 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 no. I try to level off. I could probably maybe between 8 and 10 pounds off of stage weight, just because I'm comfortable there. But I'll allow myself treats. I'm a big chip fan and ice cream, so that goes in a vicious cycle. But my foods are good, and I just try to stay. I can, you look in the mirror. I don't ever get on the scale. I don't count calories, and I don't count macros. I weigh my food because all that other information is just too much for me. So I weigh my food. I know exactly how much I'm eating pretty much. And
Hmm.
so it's easy for me because it's what I do all the time. And so it
Yeah.
doesn't change. When I get ready for a show, I just cut out the extra junk food and the sauces. I love sauce. So
Hmm.
everything on my food is sauced. But yeah, and I can cut down on it. So I could actually get ready for a show in 4 to 5 weeks if I really wanted to
What?
just maintain.
How do you structure your nutrition with taking the mixed diet approach? Like, if you're not tracking calories or macros, but you're weighing everything out, so all that's getting accounted for, even if you're not measuring it out necessarily.
Mhm.
Do you have any idea kind of how much more you're eating in a building phase versus the cutting phase? And are you gradually tapering your intake that entire cut, or are you just dropping it to a lower intake and then holding that stable? Like, how do you typically go about it?
So here's the thing, and this is pretty much why I decided to stop. I look back and I have never really been in a building phase. So I train hard. I always train as hard as I can, even now. It's harder now because I'm older. My body's a little bit broken down, but I never like ate excess calories to try and build muscle. And so in the past 8 years, my muscle mass has probably declined a little bit every year just because I'm not pushing that boundary anymore. So I've just been in, I guess, a maintenance phase as far as eating and working out and everything, pushing as hard as I can, but not pushing to gain size. It's because I'm
Hmm.
comfortable where I'm at, but it's not enough anymore. So that's why I thought, okay, I'm not going to compete. But as far as nutrition, so I'll eat the same things pretty much. I worked with a nutritionist, Leo King from
Hmm.
in Canada. He, I think, was in 22 or 23 when I started having him do my nutrition plan, and so he gave me a plan, and I just stay on that plan now. I mean, I just do the measuring of how much things weigh, the proportions of protein, carbs, and fats, and then I can eat vegetables as much as I want. So I stay with that plan. And all the way up until the show, I would stay with that plan, but clean it up. So less sauce every week. And then
Hmm.
until like the last 2 weeks, I would use no sauces, which is fine. Barbecue sauce and stuff is not that much. And then at times, before the last 2 weeks, I would actually increase my calories. So I would almost increase my calories the last 2 weeks, a little bit at a time, just to keep full because my body was still losing, even though I
Hmm.
was eating the same amount. And so I would just maintain it and fill up towards the show. Whereas it's opposite where people cut down more.
Yeah.
But my workouts everything stayed the same except for the extra sugar sauces and things like that. So yeah,
What
it's
were
kind
like
of a
the
weird.
staples food wise, like chicken, rice, broccoli, like that kind of stuff?
Chicken. So I'll eat like oatmeal. I love my oatmeal with a protein powder for breakfast. And then I'll have chicken and rice and vegetables and meat and rice and vegetables and then turkey and sweet potatoes and vegetables. So probably 4 to 5 meals a day of a variety of things. Chicken breasts, uh, ground turkey, and then petite sirloin. So, meat. I didn't watch the fat as much, but I knew that in chicken breast and ground turkey, you're really
Not
not
much
getting
fat.
all that
Yeah.
much fat. Yeah. So,